When last
Hello there.
we left our crew, they had just as completed a daring a mission to attune the frequency of the stars. That way, it would no longer boil all the crust over on Delta Leonis II. However, when they returned to the planet, all signs of damage and the dilithium core that was causing all the troubles has mysteriously disappeared with no trace. Is this planet and it's safe for rehabilitation, or is there more or that has to be considered?
Okay, wait a second. When did the dilithium core disappear? I don't remember that part.
You are currently in orbit of the planet L, and you just did a preliminary scan of the planet, and yeah, there is no sign of the dilithium core anymore, or any signs of any of the tectonic stress that this planet has been under.
So this is new information after the fact of last week. Last week.
No,
you mentioned
no,
it right at the end of the last session.
Yeah, it was right at the end of last session.
Totally missed that.
But, yeah, that is your plan. That's the setup. What are we to do now?
Maybe figure out how to scan the sun and how its radiation is currently affecting the planet to see if it's a constant.
We could do that. Lieutenant L, give me a reason science difficulty 2. This is by the ship's sensor science. Which brings the difficulty down to 1.
Okay, so
Sensor science.
said the difficulty comes down to 1?
Yep.
But do I have a focus that applies?
Sensor operations. Off to a good start. 3 momentum. Whatever specific frequency the sun was emitting before, it is no longer emitting it, and also, there is nothing. There's no crystal resonance within the planet that any sort of radiation could interact with. You would have to do something very specific and very heavy-handed to shake this planet apart again.
Alright, free question, right?
Yep.
Are all the stars aligned properly? Does it look like we're in the right time, in the right dimension and everything?
I could tell you that the stars are all aligned, and they don't seem to have shifted from where you think they should be. If you want to dig into what dimension you're in, that's going to be a more extensive scan. But from what you can tell, everything lines up.
I'll tell the captain, well, we're in the right time, but are we in the right dimension?
I think the only problem was that timeline was correcting itself and nothing really serious was happening. So we're still in our correct plane of existence. Well, that's my guess.
SME can and verify from their station and that they're still receiving standard Earth subspace chatter. Or it seems like everything's still in the right place and time. No one's talking about a major Borg invasion or a whale probe.
They probably were like 100 years ago, but not now.
He said whale probe.
Any additional questions you want to make?
Where did the dilithium go?
I could take that for our one question. It is really bizarre because as you actually go back in your logs and double check, you definitely have logs of, hey, this planet has a core of dilithium, but then you check now and there's not a trace of it. It's an iron nickel core. There's no signs that there's anything unusual about it.
So all the logs are gone, but our memories are completely intact.
No, your logs are still there. And the computer is slightly confused about this as well.
Okay. I will ask the computer to theorize how this could happen.
Give me a control science difficulty E1 assisted by computer science. To formulate the question in such a way that the computer will give you valid answers.
Focusing computers?
Yep.
Someone want to get a ship roll?
I can do that. Sorry, what was it again?
It was computer science.
Computer science.
Two more. Or momentum. Computer chews on it for a little bit, and it suggests as either log errors or sensor errors, navigational errors, or temporal anomaly.
Okay.
Basically, either we're in the wrong place, these files are mislabeled and this isn't actually the same planet, or temporal shenanigans.
Okay, so let's enter assumption that navigation logs are right, sensor logs are right. They're expand on anomalies.
Clarify.
What type of anomalies could have changed the circumstances?
It just comes back with error, syntax error.
Computer, run a level 3 diagnostic.
Level 3 diagnostic would be either 2 momentum or control engineering roll, difficulty E3.
Maddox, you want to attempt that?
Sure. What was it again?
A control engineering difficulty E3 to run a diagnostic on the computer systems.
Can I give him an assist on that?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll use 1 momentum for a third done.
Okay. And you got it. The higher computer functions go down for about 5 minutes, and they come back as everything's operational.
Okay. Try running the same question with the assumptions entered and question about the anomalies again.
Okay, what's the exact phrasing?
Splitting hairs.
Yeah, well, okay. Assuming the sensor logs and navigation logs are correct, all right, so entering those assumptions, what type of anomalies would have caused this circumstance?
Control science and difficulty 2 assisted by ship's computer science.
Somebody want to get computer science?
I got it. Woo! There you go. Welcome.
Right. And also, I think we still need a computer roll on the engineering test, don't we?
The computers can't assist with a computer diagnostic task.
4 successes.
Yep, 4 successes though. This time, it does the computer theorizes is a temporal event of some sort and a tachyon sheath, which would be something that allows the timeline to change around you, but still keeping yourself safe from temporal effects.
Just like what happened in Voyager.
Yep, same
Year
concept.
In Year of Hell.
Yep,
Same thing.
Yep, exact same concept. It doesn't have to be an active effect. It could just be when, quote unquote, a temporal event happens and you were caught in a temporal tachyon sheath and it allowed the timeline to change around you. Or something about the manner that the timeline was changed somehow left you unaffected. Because there's hundreds of different ways you can mess with a timeline. I mean, just look through Trek lore, and each one has a different way
So
it propagates through times.
Working on this working theory here, Elle wants to check recent like communication reports coming from Tiger Squadron or 10th Fleet, just any recent reports to see if they're like reports he's actually read recently.
Just check over the fleet's report logs and see if anything has shifted.
Correct.
That could be reason, con, or command, and difficulty 2 assisted by ships. It's computers, or is con. Because for some reason, con uncovers record keeping.
Reason and command con are what?
There we go. Reason, command, or con, difficulty 2, assisted by ship's computers and con.
I'll get the captain. I'll bring it up to the captain and see if the captain wants to take the lead on this. I'll explain what the theory is. We're basically an anomaly in time.
The best case to understand time travel is try and not understand time travel.
Well, first we gotta see. Well, it's not time travel though. It's we haven't time traveled, but it's possible the space around us may have essentially been altered by some sort of time travel or time manipulation.
Yeah, it's better not to try and feel culture trying to understand unless you want to die of a migraine.
Or underneath a mountain of paperwork from temporal investigations.
Yes.
But that sounds like someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if the captain doesn't want to help, I'm going to try it anyways. All it is checking recent reports.
Yeah. You would have access to it.
Research focus?
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. Somebody want to get that computer's con for me?
Well, you hit it,
Two
but you have a
momentum.
complication.
And look
Yep,
at all
2
that.
momentum.
2 momentum to quash. You are going through the logs as best as you can remember, and nothing in particular stands out. If there was a shift in the timeline, it might not have butterflied out that far yet. Because butterflies are dangerous, but it still takes time and space for their wing beaks to propagate across the galaxy.
Well, we have all the space out there, and we probably have all the time as well, so... yep, L's stuck.
Meanwhile, Commander Calder, you get a call from the engineering, from the cargo bay and temporary quarters, and the people are asking what's going on and what the next step is. So, did we fix the sun? Can we go home now?
I think I'll explain it.
Al's working right now. He's trying to figure out just how to explain it, and you didn't want to help him.
I mean, like,
That's the captain's decision about whether they can go back to the planet or not.
we're still working out, and we seem to stop all the major problems, but we're trying to make sure that it won't happen again.
Resonance command difficulty 2.
Complication.
Complication standard.
Take a that.
Okay.
Gain momentum, so we're back at 5.
Yep. As you explain into the guests that there are still safety procedures and stuff you need to go through before you can allow them back at their colony, and just make sure that everything's safe. So you bought time on that front. I guess the next question is, do you want to explore or from orbit, or do you want to send an away team down?
If L wants to go on the surface, then by all means.
Well, see, we don't have a pilot right now. Never waste an opportunity to fly. Sure, why not?
Well,
Help fly the shuttlecraft.
that for literal flying and not your shuttle. Well,
We've used it both ways before. That value.
I mean, we still got more. Yeah, got a lot of con officers.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yes, I would be happy to go to the surface.
Okay.
Get them off the ship for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. I guess L is taking a point here. Who do you want to take, and where are you going on the surface?
Let's see. Ask the doctor
No,
if
while
he
that's
wants to
happening,
come.
I got a charter still.
I'll ask if the doctor wants to come. Take Melanie. It's like a con off there. Melanie Agnes.
Okay.
And well, Maddox, do you want to come?
What's the purpose of the away, Tim?
Just to like how we investigated the sun, we're now doing on the planet, and I don't see any aromatics. There any technological.
Well, I wouldn't go down without an engineer of some sort, so
I mean, could take the number of unnamed interfaces and have.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So let's take the benzite one this time. Mies,
Man, that was kind of racist, wasn't it?
The benzite one.
It's like saying, let's take the black guy.
Mizojak.
Look at that character. So
Okay. And he needs a avatar. I can fix that real quick. So we have Melody, Mizata. Dr. Boggs, would you like to come down and establish if this environment is safe for humanoid habitation?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
All right. And Elle's coming along. And are you taking the Slipnir down? Or are you transporting?
we on officer, so might as well shuttle.
I mean, wouldn't transport be here?
Doesn't matter either way. I mean, a transport should work. That's fine. Take a transporter.
Okay. And anywhere in particular, or near the colonial site?
Yeah, the colony.
Very well. Your away team is assembled. You probably have one or two red shirts with you as well. They might come in handy.
Yeah.
And
Not so much red shirts, but a couple of security.
yeah, just basically unnamed NPCs that might be about. So
Got it.
new scene as you materialize just outside of the town of Pearson.
That a wall?
That is a wall, but there is a gate nearby.
All right.
Assume gates open.
Yep.
Where's the gate at?
Right here on this corner. As you walk inside, you see the quaint little village, prefab shelters. There's that are still up. Several local made structures made with bricks and natural stone and wood from the planet itself. And every horizontal surface is covered in solar panels.
So how is it different from when I came down the first time?
The buildings don't look like they're as reinforced anymore. and there's some buildings that are in different locations, it seems like, and none of them look damaged.
Oh yeah, the obvious
Mel?
thing.
Did you take a scan of the settlement first time that you compare to a scan now as we
I
were
think I
approaching the
did.
slip near?
Yeah,
I
I
assume
think
we
you
could-
did.
That should give us all kinds of.
Can I use my tricorder to access that?
Yeah, that should be easy enough. You're just basically comparing in here now and then.
Yeah.
Reason science difficulty to and then assisted by computer science. Complication 2, maybe because you're not quite using the right equipment for or this. It's kind of hard to see all the various details on your tiny tricorder screen.
All right. Research focus.
Yep.
Let me get a extra dice by spend a moment.
1 momentum for third dice. And that is 2 momentum and generated. It looks like pretty much the same town. The prefab shelters almost line up exactly. Some of the natural buildings are in different locations. Some of them are in the same location, and but others are like, wait, you're supposed to be like 3 feet longer, or you were, this building was made out of stone, and now it has a cedar finish.
I run a comparison through the Slipknot's computer. That could explain how the differences would have been caused.
You could.
Let's do that then.
Guys, I'm gonna have to bounce for a little bit.
Okay. No, let's increase the difficulty of that.
You don't want me picking up any more momentum?
Kind of. And also, this is a very generalized task. Reason science difficulty 3, assisted by computer science.
Science. Spend a momentum for the extra dice. Again, doing research or computer. Testing the theory come into play here?
Yes, it would. So that gives
Okay,
you an
so-
extra dice?
Yeah.
Okay, so to buy an additional dice, it would be 2 momentum.
That's fine.
Okay. Or 1 momentum, 1 threat.
Oh, no. Just the 2 momentum that we've already taken.
All right.
Science. Slip.
Yep.
2 momentum generated.
The computer error starts. So, you're asking why these buildings would be different from between the scans?
Yeah, what would have caused the differences?
Scanning different villages, is misalignment and of sensors, navigational errors, mislabeling of sensor data, syntax error, unknown.
Okay, let me clarify.
Different.
With assumptions that it's the exact same village, and these scans are taking hours apart, what could have caused it? Because some of those things would not have come back with those assumptions.
Okay, I'll stop picking on you. But the computer is, every time you ask this, it's going to be spitting out navigational error, mislabeled old scans, scanning two different villages. It's going to keep coming up with those assumptions because those are the most reasonable assumptions.
Okay, then it's going to come back and say exclude these assumptions.
Yeah, it's just gonna spit back a big fat unknown if those things are excluded.
Okay, what possibility? All right, theorize a possibility for that unknown.
Not enough data to process.
Is this just an inevitable thing?
The computers. Yeah, the computer is not meant to assume time travel.
Gotcha.
And trying to theorize that even trying to assume time travel, like, okay, what caused these differences is between this or that, it could balloon out into thousands upon millions of different permutations.
So L has already kind of theorized that time travel was involved up on the ship. So let's enter that as an assumption.
Okay, forcing it to assume time travel as an assumption, it's just going to spit back the reason why these two village scans are different is time travel. It's different because it's time travel and something changed in the past, and therefore the initial variables are different, and that's why the buildings are in different locations.
Okay.
The starting conditions and for this village has deviated, and that is why things are different.
All right. Is there anything that we can look around to see if we notice anything particular that's not shown on the scans?
Specify.
I don't know.
Are you just looking in general? Are you trying to look for specific hotspots?
Looking for anything that could lead to clues.
Clues as to why this village was built differently?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, let's just make this Insight Science difficulty 1.
Got tired of picking on me?
Kind of. I got other stuff I need to do. All right, one momentum am generated. You just kind of step back and look at the village in general, and you're comparing scans, and you realize the reason why the village is different is because it wasn't built on an earthquake zone. So they were allowed to build larger, more elaborate buildings, and some of them have 2 stories because it's stable enough to allow that, and some of them are more fancifully built because they built them under the assumption that this isn't gonna fall down in a year.
Else they could go back to the ship and say, "Hey, our engineering team made some improvements on your buildings."
But it looks like it's always built that way. This looks like a 50-year-old village that's been built up over time, just not built up on top of a fault line.
Alright. What does L's instincts think that the villagers will, or the colonists are going to be able to tell, like, on first sight that it has that big of a difference?
Oh yeah, they will.
Alright. Well, Bog's not here, but this is where we definitely need Bog to do what he wanted to do.
Meanwhile, back on the ship, as you are coming to the realization that somehow you have retroactively prevented all the earthquakes from happening ever, or something is doing that.
Oh god, he's been.
Mm-hmm. Trying to find this guy. There we go. When suddenly in orbit, suddenly in system at extreme range, a Nausicaan cruiser jumps into the system. They didn't announce anything. They are currently at green alert though. I should probably ask what alert status is the Svalinn at.
But it also hailed them.
Channel open.
The Pentagram Calder of the USS Svalinn.
This is Captain and Hajib of the NCS. Yes. Rotund. Fancy meeting you out here this far, Starfleet.
We're trying to connect with lost welds that went dark, and we're currently trying to reconnect. Well, try to create a line between one of our space posts back to Federation space.
I see that. I've seen several more of your ships around the area. I thought we would stop in and make acquaintances since we are also in the area. But my scans indicate that there's no such colony on the planet. There's a small outpost, but hardly any people in it. I see 4 humanoid life signs.
This there are some major seismic activity while ago. We currently have the billion on colony on the ship. I could have one of them vouch.
Or is this an attempt for the Federation to plant their flag on a perfectly good world and claim it all for themselves?
That is not happening.
Certainly looks like it.
That's understandable, but if you look at visuals up and check the carbon dating on the outpost, tell it's been here for a couple decades.
Ooh, very nice. Go ahead and give me a presence command. Difficulty 2, complication 2.
Okay, take a threat, and I'll spend 2 momentum for 4 dice.
One threat, 2 momentum for 4 dice. Okay.
Yep. I'm giving it back.
Very well. You have 2 float as the captain in kind of box and goes, there's nothing of interest in the village itself. If I'm more interested in the planet, there are some nice islands in the tropical regions. Perhaps I should stake claim on this world. You do have 2 float. Would you like to ask additional questions or create an advantage?
I'm gonna give myself an advantage by telling him that that one by this world where our flying lines here, well, from DSE to Federation space, in second, I am currently making deals with 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 people to bring them back into the fold of Federation space.
So, is this a Federation colony or is this not?
It it was, but because they went dark with the 12 decades, they decided to branch off. So, and I'm in talks with them to see if they would like to and back.
Well, if you don't mind, we are just going to observe these colonial efforts for now.
Okay, that is understandable.
Rotan out, and he cuts the communication. At this point, Franklin and Mayor Franklin Azir is up and awake, and is actually able to talk to you and discuss things.
To the briefing room. Da-la-da-la-da-la-da.
To the ready room. Da-da-da-da. He still has walking assistance, but he is sitting upright in his chair and just has crutches leaning off to the side. Well, Captain, hope all of this is hard work you've put us through. It was worth the effort, and our world is safe.
Okay. Yeah, I hope your world is safe, and I hope to assist you in, well, hopes to bring your colony back into Federation claim to help this world prosper even more.
I hate to be that kind of person, Commander, but we kind of left Federation space so we could get away from the bureaucracy. So, besides the bureaucracy, what benefits are you going to be bringing us? Because where I'm standing, I'll be perfectly happy with a new fusion generator.
I gotta think of how to do this above game.
You could make a insight command roll difficulty 1, and that will give you some ideas.
Okay.
What focuses do you have?
Diplomacy, leadership, forensics, combat tactics, security systems, targeting systems, Starfleet protocol.
Starfleet protocol and diplomacy you work. So, goodness, you have 3 float. But besides just general protection and from Starfleet personnel, you would also give them access to Federation and technology patents, and they would also be flagged as a colony on. They would be flagged as a colony on the Silk Oak Road, and that could bring in more people to their colony, and just having more people on a colony helps with more infrastructure, more specialists. As you can have a more robust economy, and they would also be. It would still have most of the same rights of self-governing as any other planet would be. Because the Federation is fairly standoffish as far as individual planets go. They basically just ask, okay, if you are in the Federation, you follow these rules and you pay a certain tax to us. And in times of need, we'll ask you for stuff. But otherwise, they're fairly hands-off.
Yeah, I'll explain this, all the perks of being part of it, and also you'll keep your autonomy. Because the Federation has changed since the past 50 years?
Yeah, 50 years.
Yes, and also, so with the Federation being a Federation failed leaders would think twice before attacking.
Oh, Raiders already.
You'll get
Raiders don't think at all of attacking us because we have little value.
Well, resources wise, probably, but the location, your planet has some islands that do kind of interest for potential property.
I suppose if we had some more people, we could start setting up some more robust agriculture. Or with the recent volcanism, recent being in tens of thousands of years, not tens of years, the soil is surprisingly fertile.
Above game, how many Vulcans are on the planet?
2 to 3 Vulcans, not terribly a lot.
Okay, I think I'll also say that with this this you might get some more additional people on your like, because I know that there are some Vulcans on your planet that will not be affected by the Tompar or whatever it's called above game.
Ponfar.
Yeah, Pompar.
That's a good point. You do have 3 momentum as float if you want to fire that at any time.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I almost forgot about that. I think put that towards a advantage for sealing the deal. And I'll let you decide on the momentum spend to number 7.
He's not quite ready to seal the deal yet, but the idea of being a governor of a more important planet kind of appeals to him. And with that 1 momentum, you can kind of pick up on that.
I mean, like if we could start it slow by doing a by starting off with a trade deal, and I forgot the equivalent of deal if they're bringing personnel from one world to another.
Immigration.
Yeah, that and then slowly build up to you being. Yeah, so we could simply start with a trade deal, immigration deal, and a defense pact.
And in exchange, what would we be providing?
Well, as I said, we kind of need this world as it is a potential spot for a trade route from one of our distant space stations to Federation space.
So in exchange for our surplus of food that we can definitely start making once we get some botanists and farmers here, and use of our system space, is you will offer us as protection.
Yes.
Kind of mulls it over a bit. Go ahead and let's do a presence command opposed.
Okay.
You do have 1 free hit from the advantage you made earlier.
Okay. I am going to do the same spend as last time. 1 to get 2 momentum for 4 dice.
I will spend that 1 threat back.
Okay. I'm going to reroll one of those zeros. I think I won.
Yep, you won. Very well, Hell Commander. You seem to be quite persuasive about this, and I kind of like how honest you are. I will discuss this with the rest of my people, and I will be ready to sign paperwork once we are back down on the surface.
Okay.
If that is all, Commander.
That's fine. We will begin moving your people down when my away team finish their checks on the planet.
I'm assuming that everything's okay, and this is just a preliminary scan, correct?
Yes, better to double check if you catch my drift.
Give me a presence command and difficulty 2. See if he buys that. Actually, difficulty 2 and complication 3.
Oh, yeah, you should add 3 more momentum because of my goal.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'll only get back 1 because I'm going to once again do 4 dice.
All right. Okay. He seems straight face and Ace and goes, that seems reasonable. Just let us know when we are ready to go back to the surface. And with that, he takes his walking, his crutches, and wanders off. And now, we have the big decision of do we continue investigating the planet, or do we start setting up infrastructure, or send engineering teams down and start setting up infrastructure on the planet to support them?
I think I'll let Al decide on that because he is on the planet.
Speaking of which,
What is it? Right? What is it I need to decide?
exactly how safe this planet is.
The bug was going to do that.
You're part of this. You're also an officer about.
Alright.
But as far as you can tell, the timeline shifted and there was no dilithium core. Therefore, there was no earthquakes. Therefore, this quaint little village has just kind of been humming along without fusion power for the past 30 or 40 years.
But still relatively safe for colonizer.
It's beautiful for colonization. There's a forest up north, or large fields to the south and west. There's
That would be a reason to not let them colonize.
not that you can think of.
Alright, well then he'll just let the captain know that it looks safe for them to come on down. Ready.
Okay. No. No, and Governor, no.
Okay. He signals us that he is ready to come down and at any moment. And the Noxian vessel is still in the system, just lazily watching at a distance. L, you believe Eve at this point, there's nothing in specific about this village or the surrounding area that would hinder or colonization, but you get the feeling that you should do a in-depth scan and from orbit for anything else, maybe like something on another location on the planet.
Okay.
Somewhat cheating here. Beam back up to the ship. Okay, the way team is brought back on board, and now we have a lot of things to start moving and stuff. Maddox and Maldone, since we haven't used you much yet, now is the opportunity for Maldone. You can start helping organize the people and making sure that they get back down to the planet in a orderly fashion. And Maddox, you can start bringing engineering teams down to finish fixing up their infrastructure, so that way they have a subspace radio and power systems back online, as well as additional prefab shelters if needed.
Sounds like a plan. Quick question. I did get healed from 2 sessions ago, right?
Yes, that is taken care of now.
Nothing lasting or anything?
Don't worry, we got an awesome doctor.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, I know how good he is.
Your left knee's a little stiff, but you've been assured that will go away after about a couple weeks of therapy. But otherwise, you are returned to duty.
Okay, good job.
And now we got some barn raising to do.
Let's get the show on the road then.
I think I should also notify DSC.
Not only notify DSC, but also notify the rest of the Silk Road Initiative, the Rampart and the Ecliptic, which we will get to that in a bit. But yes. First things first. Basically, the Svalinn has some prefab shelters in the cargo bay just in case, and you can replicate them from the one industrial replicator you have. And there's also some basic infrastructure upgrades that you would like to do before you leave orbit.
It takes an engineering team to build a village.
Yep, pretty much. At that, you can bring down a fleet of runabouts out down to the village and teams and get that started.
Yeah, I'm I'll also down. Only have one gun about.
Aw, but I like the image of the runabouts. Yeah, you can bring me down too. That is technology we have.
Yeah, but like isn't the era of the NX the weird NX problem?
It's like I stole that from somewhere. All right, Maddox, where would you like to start art first?
Well, we probably want to do the infrastructure first, I would think.
Okay. You can beam yourself a team of engineers and some basic supplies down. And the first task is that darn power grid. While you did get the fusion and generator back up and running, the actual power grid itself could use some upgrades.
Yeah, let's get on that.
That's a pretty big village. So that is control engineering difficulty 3.
We're in a momentum for 1 extra gun.
Okay. And earn that one back. As you are able, slowly and methodically, go through the power grid and switch out old corroded EPS conduits, and switch out breakers for newer tech that can handle higher loads. Is there any other parts of the infrastructure you would want to look at or upgrade while you're down here?
I would assume water and sewer.
Also good places to start. Same role, control engineering difficulty 3.
Same momentum for a third dot. I assume I have an engineering crew help.
Yes. And that brings it down to difficulty 2, so you gain a momentum and back. As they are set up pretty well. They were from the 23rd century, so they weren't that bad about sewage, but there was definitely some pipes that were on the verge of collapse, and that just would have been a crappy day for everyone. And one final check.
Same deal.
Yep, same deal.
I'll re-roll the 0.
Okay. As you gain that momentum, and back. As you set up some extra storage facilities and some prefab shelters as for our new people, should they need it. And after like a half day's work, you manage to get this town almost to modern day standards.
I'll make sure to update the captain on the progress of the village.
Captain, you are so informed.
Okay.
And next we have Maldone. There is 57 people who are currently in your cargo bay waiting to get back to the surface.
Okay, and we're not beaming.
We could beam them. How do you want to do this?
Go ahead. Take the one shuttle with transporter pads, or two, down to the surface, and then beam people directly from the ship to those pads.
Okay, so kind of set up a transport area down on the surface.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be control con difficulty 3, assisted by sensors engineering, and this just kind of represents you basically setting up the task and organizing the civilians to setting up the people in such a way that they can go through in a organized fashion, and setting up the transport pads on the surface.
All right. I'll go ahead and take 2 dice. 1 with threat, 2 with momentum.
Okay.
Cool.
Gain a momentum back. As through the next X shift, if you manage to get all the people back down to the surface, and some of them are some of them seem to be a bit confused at the new arrangement of the village, but they were kind of ready for that. And very, very slowly they are making their way in. Is there anything else you would like to do to set this colony off on the right foot?
And getting people down here is the most important part. Maybe touch base with Maddox and see if we can't get something set up to actually help people acclimate to the layout a little bit better. A little bit quicker, rather.
Okay. As you kind of beam down with the first people and you kind of meet up with Maddox. Maddox, you just got done raising this last barn here. Clap your hands, and Maldone is walking up to you.
Lieutenant, how are you?
Doing well. I was wondering if we would be able to perhaps set something up to help people recognize where things are so that they can get acclimated to the layout, the setup faster. Would that be possible?
Like some sort of village map?
Village map, tour. I could take care of the tour if I could get my hands on a map.
I can throw something together real quick.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'll pull a pad out and do a quick sketch based off of the notes I've probably taken from what we've said.
Oh yeah, you would definitely have notes. Go ahead and give me a control engineering difficulty 2.
I'll still burn momentum for a third die.
Okay. And there it is. Earn that momentum back. Go ahead.
I was going to say, whatever I just threw together, I would review with the lieutenant.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, Lieutenant. Great idea.
And that Lieutenant Maldone can give a tour of the new place with Presence Con on difficulty 3.
Oh no! Oh no!
You're a tour guide. You're in front of the group, trying to keep attention.
I'm gonna have to buy 2 dice for this.
Do it.
I mean, don't you have bolt?
I do have bolt on.
So just
that was the plan. Definitely. Am I going to be getting assistance from Maddox on that?
You can get assistance from Maddox.
Did you say presence in command or presence?
Presence and con.
Works out the same for me.
Okay, so despite your nerves, or if you realize, okay, I have Maddox here. He can help me out, and I got my pad. You know, just like giving a speech in the academy. Just don't lock your knees.
It's people who are coming home, but it's not really home because it's where they want to live, but it's they want to be here.
They do want to be here, and some of them are confused and bewildered. Actually, some of them start asking questions. And where did this house come from? Wait a second. I've been here for 30 years. I remember making this. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. And some of them are asking very pointed questions on, why did you move the house? Why is this room bigger than it was before?
I'm not necessarily certain on this one, but perhaps not so much that we moved the house, so much as it was moved. You know, earthquakes can do that. I don't know.
But the dimensions of this room is all different.
Well,
Doesn't want a bigger.
just because they're different doesn't mean it's bigger.
I mean, in this case, it's bigger on the inside and the outside.
Consider it a free upgrade. Don't forget to tip your engineer.
Presence command, difficulty 1, complication 2.
Oh, come on. Charisma on command, you have failed me. You said that a joke would be good for this kind of thing. Yeah. Said it's difficulty 1 with complication 2.
Yep.
I'm gonna grab a dice with momentum.
Ow.
Oh, so close. But you managed
You said
to
it was okay.
No, I was saying so close on. I wanted a complication, but they seem to have bought that, and they go, you know what? It's a good thing. I'm not questioning it. I'm just gonna go.
I was kind of throwing it out there as a joke more than else.
Yeah, they accept.
The mood.
Yeah, they accept it as a joke, but they're also still curious and wondering what the heck is going on. But you managed to say that in a joking enough mood that they can dismiss their worries for now, and like, you know what, that's a job for someone else to worry about. Anything else we would like to do in this scene?
Works for me. No major disasters yet. I think I can live with that.
Offside of the GM spends some threat.
With that, new scene as we go back to orbit. Elle, you are very confused and very frustrated by all of this.
Not to mention, out of character, my brain's feeling a little fried right now. So, okay.
Don't worry. There's answers, and a lot more questions coming.
Yeah. It could just be I'm just getting a little tired. Okay, so what does Elle need to look at now?
Hold on one second. My
What's the
recording
question
went
on
weird.
his mind right now?
Question on his mind is it is not something specific in the. It's not something specific in the sun or in the colony town itself. Maybe there's something just in a wider net that could be doing some temporal BS. And you are thinking that just doing a wide sweep for tachyons might be advantageous.
So, I mean, all I can think of to do is to either go to the science lab or the holodeck and just run simulations and keep asking the computer questions on how this could happen until he has a solution.
Computer's not going to be much help at this point until you can get more variables.
Okay. Can I get more variables? How can I get more variables?
Gather more our data, do a sensor scan.
Alright, let's do a sensor scan. In fact, let's do two. One of the whole system and another one of the whole colony.
Okay. How detailed are you going in the whole system? And also, would you want to move the ship for this, or are you going to be staying in orbit?
Staying in orbit.
Okay.
I'd say a strong scan of the system. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 6 to a 7.
Okay. So, reason science difficulty 4, complication 2, assisted by sensor science, which brings down the comp.
Okay, so
that
sensor brings down the difficulty 1.
Yep.
And I get an extra dice from testing a theory because I'm doing sensor scans, and I have sensor operation focus.
That is correct.
You either really want the spread or just want to hate on me for not. Since wow, we have no momentum.
You're scanning the entire star system and for temporal anomalies.
I know. Let's go ahead and use the metal to double the focus range.
Okay.
That didn't help, but at least I get to re-roll that comp.
Why do you get the reroll?
Oh wait, no, it's extra die. Never mind. Damn it.
And then the ship's roll sensor science.
I want to use determination to re-roll that dice.
To what value?
theory for every situation.
That will work.
In fact, I can re-roll the whole pot, right?
Yes, you can.
Let's roll the whole pot. Much
That's better. And then the ship sensor science. All right, 2 momentum off that. You are doing a deep scan and of the entire our system, and basically overturning every rock you can find and you find something not only that doesn't match what you had before, but also is giving off a very, very low level tachyon field. If you weren't looking specifically for it, it could almost be dismissed as background noise. But in the southern polar region of the planet, within the ice shelf, underneath a mile of ice, there is an opening, and within that opening is some sort of artificial object that is emitting tachyons.
All right. So, what kind of object?
You cannot tell through the scans, but it's some sort of metal.
Is it a ship?
Unknown. It's
Captain,
it's underneath a mile of ice. So that's probably why you're getting so little information from it.
Sorry, I was thinking out in space. So this is on the planet?
Yep, underneath the ice shelf of the South Pole. The object seems to be in some sort of pocket, couple hundred meters across. There's a M-class atmosphere air maintained within it.
I'll let Captain know about the tachyons coming from the planet.
Captain, you are so informed.
A quick reminder that I had to wait for keyboard for a bit.
Okay. L, what do you tell the captain?
That there is a structure underneath the South Pole's polar ice cap that they're made of metal that's emitting tachyon.
Okay, the Maldon Delta Flyer.
Okay. Oh, looks like you have another away team. Aim to prep. At this point, Maldon is just finishing up getting the colonists back on the surface. And Elle, you can get in contact with Maldon and tell him your crazy plan. Elle?
Say that again.
You can get in contact with Maldon and tell him about your crazy plan to take the Delta Flyer down.
I wasn't my plan to take a Delta Flyer down, but somebody mentioned it.
Okay. Captain, I'm assuming you approve an away mission.
To investigate this underground bunker. Yes.
Okay. Let's organize another away mission.
Dum da dum.
Elle and Maldon are going along. Would you like to take any other characters with you? Or perhaps an NPC?
Do 2 unnamed security again.
Senior unnamed security. Okay. Any other equipment you would like to take? Cold weather gear is required, so no charge for that.
Armor.
Are we expecting trouble?
Are you expecting trouble?
Who knows?
I mean, you can if you want to.
With USGM, anything's possible.
You want just ballistic body armor, or do you want an EVA suit?
I was being sarcastic, but
Okay.
because I don't want to pay the momentum cost.
Any specialized sensor equipment you want to bring, or engineering equipment? This is underneath a mile of ice. Maldon, you can make suggestions as well.
Not really sure. I just fly the ship.
All right.
I think I found.
You think you found something?
I think I found something that might helpful. Can I get like a science version of a tronal scanner?
Chrono scanner?
A tronal scanner, medical device, but I want to know if there's like a science version.
What exactly does it do?
This allows you to see like for layers of tissue of a humanoid. So I'm thinking, what are levels of like metallurgy or other types of sensor scan, science sensor.
A spectrometer. A spectrometer will help with material analysis and just a mass spectrometer or would cover that. It'll tell you what the material is made of and can also do some sonic infrastructure or to look into the interiors if there's anything.
Okay, yeah, mass spectrometer will work.
All right, that'll be one momentum.
And I'm adding that to my make that a permanent buy.
It's not gonna be a permanent buy, but it'll be like a buy for the episode.
Okay.
All right, as you guys are loaded up into, I'm assuming you're taking the Slipnir. Maldon. Way down on the bottom here. And back. As El Maldon and a security detail will go down to the planet. Launch is easy enough. Maldon expertly pilots the Slipnir down through the atmosphere and into the southern polar region, where half of it, the western half is a continent, and the other half is just a northern part of a vast ocean, and it is on the continent that this ice sheet is. And by the time you get down there, it's just a vast flat line of ice.
I'm just imagining Maldon vibrating with joy in the pilot seat of the flyer.
You're damn right. That is exactly what Maldon is doing.
Oh yeah, because here's the fun part. Art. There are cracks and crevices within the ice sheet that just happen over time, and one of them is a great canyon that will lead down into the spider web of caves deep underneath the surface.
Please tell me you're trying to go down there. No?
Say that again?
Please tell me you're trying to go into that. He looks at you with hopeful eyes.
GM, can you describe it again?
You are over top the southern ice sheet, and it is just a vast surface of ice, and there's cracks and crevices and giant canyons gorged into it, and your destination is a mile underneath the ice.
I say, how about a little point and shoot and fly?
Say what now?
Point, shoot, fly.
All right. Where you want the guns pointed?
He'll look at his sensor scans to see where this is at, and then just like point at some of the cracks in the ice.
Go ahead and give me a reason and science scan difficulty 3, assisted by the Slipnir sensor science.
Reason science.
Yep. Hey, the little ship I could. That is 1 momentum and generated. Maldone, you have a rough path ahead of you, and it does look like there's gonna be some narrow spots, but you should be able to mostly fit the Slipnir through the cave network and down in there.
Perfect.
I like how he said mostly fit.
There's gonna be some fun spots that you might have to get creative with.
That's why we shoot the phasers. That's why I said point, shoot, and fly. That should have been the creative part right there.
But you have, of course, are laid in. Let's do a. Difficulty 3, complication 4.
Oh, okay.
Because this is a really tight and intense space to be flying in.
Hey, you know what feature the Delta Flyer has?
What feature does the Delta Flyer have?
An ability known as Hot God,
And what does that do?
and it decreases the comp range by engine task per environment.
That is exactly what is going on here. So, comp range 3. You are a nimble little craft, and you can and make these hairpin turns with 0 clearance. Hopefully.
If they back. All right.
So,
Let's go
comp
ahead and
range.
grab 2 dice.
All right. 1 threat, 2 momentum.
Correct.
All right. This should be on the map layer.
Well, damn.
And the Slipnir's engine con. Comp. Give me a net 20.
So who's doing the engine con?
I'm pulling it up right now. So anyone else can roll it if they want.
So, in a very, very harrowing experience, probably a little faster than you needed to, you dive into the canyon, and then you see a path just to the starboard, and you duck into it, and you start diving and weaving in through these ice crevices. It's just a blur of blue and white. But you are slowly but steadily moving your way laterally and down deeper into this glacier. Elle, I need you to make a fitness con roll, difficulty 2.
Con? What are you do to me here?
You're an Orion, and you're in a very tight enclosed space.
Well, we're already in the shuttle.
Yeah, but the shuttle's now in an enclosed space, so.
Okay, well, athletics focus.
I'm looking for more composure or willpower.
No composure. What difficulty?
Difficulty 2. Oh,
Fine,
and,
I one threat.
actually, there is a momentum available if you want to use it. I miscounted.
Oh, so you're hiding momentum on me.
No, I just didn't. In fact, there it is.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, let me get one die.
I math occasionally. A little bit of panic, like even though yes, you are still within the same space of the shuttle. The Delta Flyer being an enclosed space, you know, whenever you're in a car and you go in a tunnel, you kind of scrunch your shoulders in. That's kind of the same instinct you are having. Like, this is too tight. This is way too tight. We should not be flying here. We shouldn't be here. There is no room to maneuver. Oh my god, I'm okay. I'm okay. Just focus on the internal space of the ship. You managed to hold it together. But at this point, you run into the first of the hairpin and turns where the where the path is pinched off, and there's like a stalactite and stalagmite I just pinching off the path. And there's a way forward, or you can and fire phasers through there, or you could try to maneuver around it.
Phasers are
Is that safe? Use those on a cave while we're in a cave?
Unless you want to hit something in the cave.
I'm assuming that you kind of come at this T-junction and you come to a stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm asking a question. It's
Yep.
gonna be safe.
Unless you stop, there's no time to ask questions.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you have some time to make a decision. But as to whether or not this is safe, insight engineering difficulty 2. You could be assisted by the Slipnir sensors. Slipnir's
I'll let that one be Maldon. So that's his question.
Oh, I mean, I'm fine rolling it, but I was asking you.
Yeah, what's your professional opinion on this?
Does he have to have a professional opinion on it?
I mean,
you can-
considering that we could all get squashed to death unless we get a good answer.
He just wants to get to that source of the tachyons. He doesn't care how we get there.
Oh, so he's fine with us getting there in the afterlife. Okay, gotcha. Our
Resurrection is
spirits
a
can
spell
float
you
the rest
have,
of the way.
right?
Huh?
Resurrection is a spell you have, right?
Sadly, the only spell I have that help is reincarnation. Oops, all kobolds.
Oops, all kobolds.
If you reincarnate me, I want to be a giant eagle.
Did I come back to the wrong game? I thought we were playing Star Trek, not D&D.
I just want to fly all the time. You know?
I mean, you can make that inside engineering roll, or you could just fire phasers and
I mean,
and
I
do
am
a phaser
absolutely
shot.
fine just making it. But
I'm fine with just going ahead and shooting.
All right, I'll go ahead and make it then.
I mean, I'll shoot just to clear the path. Let him fly. I'll do the shooting.
To engineering, I'd like to buy an additional dice.
With threat or momentum.
Correct.
Okay.
That bold.
Not insight, or not engineering.
Oof. Do you have a means of re-rolling or quashing that?
Well, I'm assuming that I'm gonna get my all fingers and thumbs because I'll be using the Slipnir sensors to get that. How many? I can just quash that with momentum, right? If I have enough.
If you have 2 momentum, yes.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll have one from all fingers and thumbs, and then the Slipnir hasn't rolled its sensors yet.
so sensors engineering.
And there's one moment available as it is.
So the sensors roll.
Is this on the Slipnir?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sensors
Sensors
Energy.
engineering.
engineering? I got it.
Yep.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll quash it with 2 momentum. One of them being from fingers and thumbs. Fingers are thumbs.
Fingers are thumbs. Thumbs are fingers. Yeah. This seems like if you do it just right, you could blast your way through there, and it would save a lot of
So
time.
anyway, L started blasting.
Now, Don and L are both the adventurous types out of the group, so why not? Have a little fun on the mission.
Just make sure that the reason for the loss of the butterfly wasn't style points.
Hey, you'll get your report
Listen,
later. Don't worry.
If we're losing the Delta Flyer, I'm going down with the ship. I'm bringing this puppy with me to the afterlife.
I'd rather not.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't want to lose it either. But if I have to, then I have to. What can I say?
I know. Just
easy roll,
make
but
sure-
if it goes wrong, it's gonna go very wrong. Because you're standing still is right in front of you. It's a non-moving target, and you're like within meters of it, but if you messed up, you messed up. So, control security difficulty 1, complication 4, assisted by ship's weapon security.
Do we have enough to support points to bring in one more supporting character?
You actually haven't had any crew support used yet, so yeah, you can bring in someone.
Oh, I recommend we bring in Zogar. Because he has an ability that might help.
Zogar was totally on the shuttle with you for 1 crew support.
Okay. Alright.
Although I might have to have him make a fitness medicine roll for a different reason.
I mean, you'd only have to if the shuttle loses power.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I roll Zogar?
Go ahead.
So he had. Would he be allowed to use precision targeting?
I will allow that because that's kind of what you're doing. You're surgically striking at this ice wall in front of you.
Okay, take 2. He will spend a momentum.
Okay.
He is re-rolling that 0. The bad 0.
The bad 0. Nice.
Okay, so that is
That is 2 over top. And what's the what does precision targeting do?
allow 1 free reroll, and it's pretty much a space aim, but yeah, for the and additional the phases get a piercing 1.
Yeah, piercing 1's not needed. You don't even need to roll damage for this, but yes.
I know the reason I did it was for the reroll.
Alright,
Which was needed.
Now on do is flying.
As Zogar are very deftly he cuts a hole big enough for the Delta Flyer to fly through. Now for the next leg of the journey. This is like the final leg, of course. Can't really bring it up that much more. As you're still flying in a enclosed space, but it seems to have opened up a little bit, so not as complicated. Control con, difficulty 3, complication 3, assisted by engines con.
Control. Complication 3. Gonna buy.
Oh, me and Bob both did it.
Gonna buy some dice. Gonna buy 2 dice. 1 with threat, 2 with momentum.
Sounds good.
They're rolling.
5 successes.
5 successes on a difficulty 3.
Got the momentum back.
Mm-hmm. But as you're flying around, and there's a sudden crunch as you scrape the bottom of the ship, and your lateral thruster array is damaged.
That doesn't sound.
But you do make it to the cave. However, the lateral thrusters of the Delta Flyer do have a breach on them.
Might want to slow it down a bit.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. He's patting the slip near the controls. I didn't mean it.
Zogar is here. And we have the Slipnir that appears in this open cave. And it's a wide open space. You can easily bring her down onto land, but those lateral thrusters might be an issue on the way back. What do you do?
Where's the metal structure?
I'm glad you asked. As before you lies as a giant obsidian black pyramid.
Is it a perfect pyramid shape?
Perfect pyramid, 4 meters by 4 meters.
It's actually a sphere of destruction.
Hey, now done. Do you think it's Borg?
I have no idea.
Alright, sensor scan.
Reason science.
Yes, music.
Do you want to use the Slipnir, or are you gonna step outside?
The slip.
A little too encouraging about you want to step outside.
I don't know. This is kind of cool.
Please step outside.
What's the worst that can happen?
That'll be the next trick. That'll be L's next trick.
And for my next trick.
Oh, wrong thing.
Yeah, just reroll.
So.
And the Slipnir sensor science.
What, risk getting a complication?
I got that. Sensor science. Building 3 still. Building.
Or success.
That was, yeah, 4 successes. Yeah, it's a perfect pyramid, absolutely perfect, down to the micrometer, or it's the exact same measurement on all sides. Solid in metallic mass as far as you can tell, extremely dense.
Can I see what's inside of it? The sensor scan?
Not from out here.
Really want me to go inside, don't you? Okay. I'll tell Maldown, do you want to stay here or go with me? By the way, I'm thinking about flying to the top. Can't
All right.
fly, right?
Yeah,
Look
there's clearance to fly.
No. This is L messing with Maldown with a joke.
Listen here, all right. I gotta be completely honest right here. Completely and totally envious. All right, just saying. But we'll put that to the side for now. Good joke. Everybody laugh.
Ah. So, do you step outside?
Well, I still want to know if Maldown wants to come with me or if he's staying here. Big obvious.
I've not actually wanted to have good fitness for quite some. Like, I don't really care about my fitness stat, except for right now. I'm kind of miffed because they didn't give me a jetpack. It's a lot of climbing.
I mean, you do have someone who could actually fly.
Yeah, so technically we didn't even have to land the Slipnir either.
Wait, so are you saying like he'll grab me and we'll go? I'm totally down for that.
And also,
He suggested that just joke with you.
I know. It's a movie that lots of people want.
I'm down for it.
And I know it's a movie that lots of people want to forget about, but there are rocket boots you could have that could assist in flying. For one momentum, I could have a pair on the Slipnir.
That is going to become part of my standard kit. If you could please spend that momentum and give me some rocket boots.
All right, rocket boots. This will allow you to ascend in vertically.
All right, now we'll go get some close-in handheld sensor scan.
You step outside of the aircraft. What is Zogar doing at this time?
Probably standing by in case we need a beam out.
Fair. As you step out of the a shuttle, you do have some species appropriate winter clothing on, but it is still really, really cold down here. Sunlight probably hasn't pierced this far down in millennia, probably an entire eon. As you step down onto the ice and take a tentative steps towards the pyramid.
Wait. Who's taking steps? Bump, 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 bump.
Good point. L, Oh, you can and fly quite naturally. Maldone, on the other hand, this is a bit awkward for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, but I'm ready for it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's Control Con difficulty 2.
Listen, this is one of those things that I'm about to start practicing this on the holodeck. Like,
That's fair.
On the comms. Hey, Maldon, when are we going to do some skydiving?
some point, I'm sure. I forgot they had these things. You have any idea how much time I feel like I've wasted not knowing that these are around?
I've never needed them.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, rub that one right in my face. Appreciate that.
I mean,
Funny enough, I
don't
actually
say
have
it.
an icon for this, I think. Somewhere in here.
Say it so casually. It's just like, I've never needed them.
It's like that whole, I'm a robot. I can survive in space.
Alright, Maldone. On
Yeah.
Control Con difficulty 2.
Complication?
No complication. Can't
Okay.
think of anything how to complicate it.
You
It's
about
like
to
an
make me put
extra-
rocket shoes as a focus? Am I really gonna spend reputation on getting rocket shoes as a focus? I feel like I'm about to spend reputation on getting rocket shoes as a focus.
that's a lot of rocket shoes.
Oh, there's about to be a lot of rocket shoes.
I'm glad I can influence.
You know how
him
some
and
people
change his
collect
character.
skis? You know how some people could collect skis and snowboards and stuff? I'm about to start collecting rocket shoes.
Dear God, what have I started?
I'd like to buy 1 dice. I'd like to buy 2 dice.
And a pair of rocket shoes.
And a pair of rocket shoes. 1 with threat, 2 with momentum.
Okay. That is a success. As it takes a little bit to dial in the controls, but hey, look at that, you're flying. And yep, you are able to hover and fly around this place as needed. So where's this investigation taking place? You're just gonna start from the top and stab it with a mass spectrometer?
Well, from right where I'm at, let's say, 15 feet away?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get a good scan and make sure that it's safe to land on. Not gonna get electrocuted or anything like that. Is it safe to land on it?
Reason science difficulty E3.
Wait, so that black triangle a ziggurat?
It's a 3-sided ziggurat.
Oh, okay.
So it's a
It's a
D4.
And it's a sensor scan, but with the tricorder.
Yep. Yeah, seems relatively a safe. You're not detecting any electrical discharges, is any a static or magnetic impulses. In fact, the surface is incredibly smooth and featureless.
Right. And with that sensor scan, do I detect any sort of alarm?
The only energy signature you are detecting is the tachyon. It's a very low, weak tachyon pulse. It is very low energy, but it's pulsing out about once every 3 seconds. Just whoom.
Is there any sort of
Whoom.
entrance into the structure?
Absolutely featureless.
Absolutely.
There is no discerning 1 cubic centimeter from the next.
All right. Is it? Can we see the interior to any extent? Like, is there an actual room, breathing space on the interior?
You are not able to see into the interior. It's just a black obsidian and slate on all 3 sides. It seems like that there's no obvious means of egress. There's no obvious controls. But there's also no obvious or even through your sensor scans, there's no means of traps or alarms or anything that would react to your presence that you can see.
He'll say to Maldon, "Hey man, you think there's any sort of trap door on this thing?"
I mean, not that I can see.
Well, it's safe to land on.
You want me to put my feet on the ground? Never again.
Elle will go ahead and land just to show him.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I believed you when you said it was safe. It's just the thing is, I don't have to use the ground anymore.
You
Look
are
what I
above
started.
such things.
Look what, get it above.
I don't know if I should just.
You're looking at generating threat off that joke.
You were the one who made it!
Exactly.
Look what I started by dragging him out here.
As you land,
Is there anything at the very, very top?
no, but there's someone new at the bottom of the pyramid.
Oh,
I believe
Go look down.
you've gone far enough.
and who
And-
is that?
Young. He's a young Trill officer, and he appears to be wearing a Federation in uniform, but his badge is wrong.
Elle will look at him. Hi down there. If you want to talk to me, you'll have to come up here, though.
The surface is not really scalable, and it's not designed to be. I hate
Hello,
to say
Trevor.
this, but you and your little ship have found itself elf in the middle of a war.
I mean, Federation, isn't there always kind of a war painted on our back somewhere?
Every
Not really
time,
surprised.
every time in every place, it seems.
El's looking back at his tricorder, trying to figure out how to get into this thing.
There doesn't seem to be any apparent entrance, but this is Trill. Oh man waves a hand, and a console materializes just near the base.
El will fly to the other side. Still looking.
What has transpired here was the result of forces that you are not supposed to engage with, that were tampering with this planet as a means to gain a strategic edge. This device here is to prevent them from doing that and restoring this place to what it should be.
Alright, GM, I don't think you quite understand. El's not paying attention to the guy because El's so focused on trying to figure out how to get into the pyramid.
And I'm saying that there is no obvious egress. It is molecularly perfect.
I get it.
Okay. So man
Point
sits
is,
there
El's not paying
watching.
attention to him right now because El's busy.
Okay. He allows you to fly around. What are you doing?
Examining this thing, trying to figure out how to get inside.
There is no inside.
El will fly over to him and the console. So there's a console right there.
Yep.
Mount out stealth, they're flying around.
The console there shows a lot of information.
And I download it onto my tricorder.
You're not gonna be able to download it, but you could take a look at it, see if you can understand it.
Okay, I'll take up.
Insight or reason, science, and difficulty 4.
I'm gonna need some dice. That's
It is quite advanced.
I'll burn a milestone. On value science, that's my special.
Don't you have a determination?
He spent it already. From what episode?
I haven't really been recording the episodes.
I'm gonna wind up doing the entire squadron crossover. I know science especially that.
Okay, that'll work. So
Can I get any help? Here. Meltdown assist. Or he's too busy flying around right now.
I don't know.
There's no threat.
Oh my gosh. Those boots. The boots. The icon you have for the boots is ridiculous.
I had that for a different thing, but I was playing after the game.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit more worried about our new friend here.
Yeah, so am I, but might as well look so while I can. Alright. Fine, you get 2 threat.
Okay.
See, I knew I needed that die. I knew it.
It takes a little bit to figure out because this is not any sort of screen readout you're used to, but it is scanning in basically a 5 light year radius and keeping track of most everything in the area, and is comparing it to a database.
Alright, so I look at this guy and say, what ship are you assigned to?
One that hasn't been made yet.
That is answer or GM answer?
That's his answer. Where I'm from is not quite the right question.
Okay. When are you from?
I am from the 27th century, a united federation of planets.
And why are you manipulating time in the system?
I am here to correct manipulations and times that already happened. The unusual core of this planet that was a dilithium seed that was dropped in this system 5 billion years ago.
Would L have reasonable knowledge of Department of Temporal Investigation?
Oh, everyone knows of the Department of Temporal Investigations.
Okay. So I
And
ask him.
the idea of time travel is well known. The idea of the Temporal Cold War is slightly more classified. You would not have
So-
clearance for that, but the idea of, oh, this is somewhere from the future. Okay, that's a thing. It's not unusual, but it's unusual, but it's not unheard of.
You forget I sat in on a high level conference meeting during the Tiger Squadron.
Yeah, time travel is a thing.
But the Cold War's come up during the Tiger Squadron thing.
Oh, then you are moderately aware of the Temporal Cold War.
LOS, can't the Department of Temporal Investigations correct time stuff from the 27th century?
The temporal divergence was too great. I'm surprised that it has settled down as far as it did. I did as many calculations as I could to ensure that the colony that you found was mostly unchanged.
So what does this thing do?
It protects the timeline from temporal intrusions.
How?
Try explaining the warp drive to someone who just invented the horse and buggy. Takes a deep
Are you
breath.
trying to insult me?
it creates a temporal divot in the time stream and ensures that all events fall eventually into its groove. If there is a temporal event, it slowly corrects it to a proper path. There's hundreds of them across the quadrant. This one I haven't had a chance to bury yet.
He'll talk on the comm system. Hey, Maldon, might want to come down here now.
All right.
You managed to come down where you would like to.
All right. God.
Looks like you lost your boots there.
I can't move the boots. I tried.
Try now.
That's better.
All right. Unfortunately, because of this event, and your insatiable curiosity, I am going to have to ask you a favor.
Depends.
Delete your records of everything you've seen here and never speak of it. If records of this device and this location and enter libraries, it will make my job very difficult.
L will cite a regulation and say, you know, I can't do that without my captain's approval.
We can discuss this with your our captain and senior staff. But the less S, the better. I've done what I've done what I can to make sure that this timeline is as uninterrupted as possible.
First, you have not even identified yourself. Second, you've been very vague. 3, you have a shuttlecraft right there that has phasers on it. So I want some more answers.
Are you threatening? Give me presents.
There was no threat included there.
Pointing out your shuttle
Simple
has phasers is quite an aggressive move.
Just saying, it has phasers on it.
Palvier. I'm Agent Ann Palvier. Now, if you let record of this get out, other temporal factions from the 27th century and beyond might discover this place and will destroy Delta Leonis from the past.
This is
killing,
above my pay.
Undoing the lives of billions of people throughout 5 centuries.
So what's going to happen to the village here and this system?
I am continuing to make calculations to ensure that the village is safe. You unfortunately already made a report about finding the village and reaching out to it, so erasing it from time would send in shockwaves throughout the temporal front. Leaving it here is the more prudent answer. But in order to leave it here, that requires my trust of you.
Elle will give me a couple minutes. Gonna walk moderate distance away.
Okay.
Hit the communicator and try to get the captain on the ship.
Am I receiving any hails?
No, you're receiving something else as about 5 minutes before or you would have received the hail. You appear in the cave. You were in your ready room, going over reports, probably writing up the proposal for Delta Leonis to rejoin the Federation.
If I were sitting, I'd probably on my ass while holding a pen.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I've got my back to it, but would that be funny to Maldon?
Yeah, Maldon, you just see the captain appear out of it's not quite a transporter or effect, but a swirl of gray mist.
Oh, hey, Captain. Welcome. I knew this party was missing someone.
Yeah, but him falling on his ass because he was from a sitting position.
Hello,
As you
Commander.
can clearly see, Captain, we're at a party, and this party has a pool, and it's a really deep pool. We're kind of at the bottom of it.
It seems that the Svalinn has stepped out of bounds and into into events that are above your pay grade, as they would say.
Did anyone let Elle know that the captain's there?
Oh, you hear him. You hear him fall down
Alright,
and bust his ass.
I'll walk back over.
This is the person you needed to speak to.
Who's this?
Says he's a temporal agent.
Like the guys who usually interrogate people who went through time travel?
Those are the ones.
I'm more of the people who cause your people to get interrogated by the temporal core of investigation or the temporal investigation commission.
Okay. Okay, tell me what's going on.
Very simply, you have stumbled your way into a feud between into temporal factions. I am the good guys, and I'm trying to set things right. However, in setting things right, I had to make a decision, and there is not supposed to be a colony on this planet. Somehow, seeding in the dilithium core here made this an M-class planet and drew inhabitants to it 50 years ago. I attempted to undo it, and it erased the colony. I could keep the colony here, but that will require our silence on the matter. It will also put you at risk, and it might make you and your vessel known to these less favorable temporal factions.
I mean, I think we found one of them.
I'll ask if do anything about tachyon coming from near the sun.
That was the other temporal faction. They were engaged with one of our time ships.
So what? Wait, so wouldn't preventing the core from being M-class get rid of the make plan no longer in M-class?
I've tweaked some things and allowed the M-class of the planet to stay. But in tweaking things, I've left fingerprints across the timeline and fingerprints that lead to you.
Is there a way to clean up these fingerprints?
There is. I delete the colony and the hundreds of thousands of people that would be living here in a year. The billions of people that will live across Delta Leonis is over the next 5 centuries.
That would not go over well with the Prime.
You've made first contact here. It is your choice.
What other options?
You erase your records or swear secrecy. I could even modify our memory engrams, but my fingerprints will still be there. And if a temporal faction were to find them, you would not have any warning sign, and we would have to have this conversation again. Does anyone else from the senior staff want to be popped down here and have this conversation?
Left, Maddox?
Just bad or Bog when I joined in.
Oh yeah, Bog's back.
Oh, yeah, we did see a a ship entering leaving the timeline via a tachyon first. We had an image, and I saw an image of a ship with a scarlet fold.
I am aware. At this point, at various points throughout the day, while the senior staff is by themselves or around the corner or something, and you are plucked out of the day and brought to this chamber.
Who's plucked out and brought?
I'm sorry to scratch my head and think you.
The entire senior staff, all the players or characters are brought into this chamber.
Okay, so
it could just be that you turned a corner.
Or like a transporter.
It's a temporal transporter. But from your point of view, Dr. Bog, you were in your sick bay. You are running some tests, and you go into a closet to grab something, and next thing you know, you're in here.
Freezing your ass off, by the way.
No, it's quite temperate around the device.
Yeah, so Maddox's initial reaction is, what the hell is going on?
They got kidnapped.
Yeah, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna be Captain. Can you explain what's going on?
I attempt to. Apparently, this man right here is a temporal agent.
And I have a proposition to make, and a big decision that I cannot in good faith make on my own, as it would cost us many lives, or it will cost your safety.
Exactly how many lives are we talking?
Millions.
Potential millions. Right now, 57.
So they're at that point, Bog understands we're talking about the colony, doesn't he?
Yep.
Well, what is our safety compared to millions?
This colony will become the homeworld of many people, but it wasn't supposed to be. Because of the interaction of this other temporal faction, they made this colony possible, but they were also the ones who made this colony at risk.
So what happens to the members of the colony?
Some of them are not born, some of them find themselves in different parts of the galaxy. Some live, some die. But leaving them...
I got a question. Specific
Yes.
to 10th Fleet rules.
Yes.
How does 10th Fleet look at Starfleet's... is there a standing order on what has a higher priority between temporal directives and the prime directive?
They're both in equal standing. Prime directives is used more often because it's more relevant, but temporal directive has the same weight.
I mean, not even all the Starfleet lists out directives because it's the order that they're applied. So I don't see how they would have equal standing. They're in an order which shows how they're prioritized.
In that case, the prime directive is more important. It's basically the prime directive, don't interfere with outside forces. The temporal directive is a sub clarification of that.
Okay.
And we're certain this person is who he says he is.
I'm not certain, but
No one's certain, but no one's made a scan yet. But he seems legit.
so
Can I request? Can I basically use my communicator to request the Svalinn or the Slipnir to do a scan, see if I can verify that he's not from our time?
Yeah. That could be a thing.
or we could just give you a medical medical tricorder from the slip.
Yeah, if there's one in there, that's fine.
Yeah, you would have a medical tricorder on you. It's on your belt.
Oh, well, I didn't know if I'd be carrying it since I was in my office. So,
Which is
Yeah.
valid, but there's still always going to be one on the shuttle, though.
gotcha. All right, we're
But
scanning away.
You can make the scan. Reason medicine difficulty 2.
I guess if I use the Slipnirs, though, I'd get a bonus.
Yeah, the Slipnir can help with reason in medicine.
Yeah, because when I'm by the ship's computers or sensors, but it's not gonna have. It's ships, not sensors. Okay. This
Yeah,
is just
yeah, it'd be
what
the
was the
Slipnir
complication?
sensors. Complication standard.
Okay. I'll go ahead and spend threat to get bold activated.
Okay.
I'll re-roll that. Oh man,
Ooh.
that's a unfortunate deal. Let's see here. I can't use technical expertise here, can I? To re-roll a d20.
You were getting the Slipnir air to help, but I think technical expertise only works on the ship dice, was it? Or was that every dice?
Whenever you it's on either one. May be on which may be on the ship's die. So it works on mine or the ship's.
Yes, then that would work.
Okay.
And then we need to roll from the Slipnir's sensors medicine.
What was the difficulty?
2.
Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding.
Really?
Oh no.
Sometimes it's best to not roll the ship.
Well, I can spend a threat to. How do I squish that? Squishy it.
You need 2 momentum.
You need 2 momentum.
I don't have 2 momentum, so how about I give you 1 and I owe you 1?
I would just take this as 2 threat.
All right, I'll give you 2 threat. I don't want a complication here. So.
Yep, no complication here. I'll just take 2 threat. Yeah,
But I like that.
he's a young Trill, probably like late 20s. He is joined, and he has very faint traces of Beta Z and some Bajoran in his DNA.
Do we have a Trill on our crew?
Yeah, you probably do.
I'm kind of more interested in confirming that he is from another timeline, and if I can, pinpointing that timeline.
Based on genetic scans,
Chronicon count.
based on chronoton count and also just his genetic profile, he is one. What's the ratio? Like 1/28th. Yeah, he's like a marginal fraction of Bajoran, and based on how long Bajorans have been on the galactic scene, either his grandparents met on Bajor or in the early 21st century, or he's from the 27th century. And Chronoton seemed to confirm that he has displaced at least 500 years.
Captain, he does appear to be from the time that he claims, anyway.
So, can I trust you not to look any further into this and not to spread any breadcrumbs about the happenings here today?
Only if it doesn't bite us in the ass later on.
I'm
Well,
bringing this to you because these asked by a manner, and also I did not want to temper with the timeline anymore. These reality anchors are quite touchy.
is there a way for me to go in, basically, I think I saw this on a Star Trek where they go in and they basically remove memories so that we can't accidentally mess it up?
That's been done, but I think a lot of people might be opposed to that idea.
Yeah,
That can be done, but I am unwilling to do that unless it's absolutely necessary or without consent. I could do that on you.
Best case, just not go for this, but I mean, what if we deal with these people again, and another stage saw a healing? What then? Because we are currently working to other ships.
Captain, did you ask him about the ship that we spotted?
Elle did.
Yeah, I did.
And what was said?
That it was
Yeah.
from another faction, the faction that he's trying to fight right now.
So
Yeah.
my concern, Captain, is that this other faction has already seen us in this location and is aware that we've been somehow involved.
Yeah, I think
Leaving a paper trail would just confirm that and bring them to your time and place much faster.
Yeah, well, I mean,
The flip
yeah,
side,
but
we
there
could
is the
try to
chance.
fight that faction. here in our own.
Now let the captain talk for a second.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like there is a chance that that same exact guys that were at the sun will come back and maybe look for us and find us screwed over the plan done. Wouldn't you agree?
I was the one who screwed over the plan with the sun. You are merely the accessories to the situation.
Wait, so did you use something to modify by LCS to pretty much say yes, this plan will work?
There were clues that were given that would point him in the right direction.
Well, I'm saying because L been, for example, was doing a test with the same exact math, and but both of them gave a different result that you're doing.
Yes. To put it simply.
You also the reason why some of us saw two timelines and others did not.
I feel like
That's a side effect of the activation of the reality anchor. The timeline fluctuates, and some people are able to get temporal aphasia and remember both timelines. Sort of a deja vu, I believe it is called on Earth.
okay, but still, what are the chances of the same exact forces that were at the sun, like not by faction? I mean the little same exact ship would come after us because they would think that we've done something.
Go after that ship, they come after us.
That is
Probably
not advised.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with ships that are like 500 years advanced than us.
So they just need to get a hold of other ships that are advanced than us to help.
But I mean, like, if we do try to find more ships to help us, they will expect to do something and then just outnumber them.
With the reality anchor in place, it makes it so the timeline can't change and has not changed retroactively.
And what are the possibilities of this Zergat being not destroyed?
That's a risk I'll have to take, but precautions have been made. As your science officer can and attest to, this device is quite impenetrable. Impervious as to most things.
Okay.
What exactly does the device do?
I think he already explained it twice.
To explain it at a third time, it creates an anchor point in the timeline if people try to time travel and create change to the timeline, the reality anchor pulls on causality and yanks the timeline back, so that way within 5-10 years after the temporal incursion, and the timeline's right back to where it would be. It's kind of the same idea of temporal inertia. This gives inertia to the timeline. So if you were to go back and say kill Hitler, eventually within 5 years someone else would rise up in Germany, do the exact same things, and World War II would happen just 5 years later, and the timeline would be right back to where it's supposed to be. If one of these devices were on Earth. That'd be a good idea.
I mean, more like what's preventing someone just like if they know where it is, just orbital bombard ganker.
That's a neutronium hull for one.
Oh, okay.
And the reality anchor also has temporal precautions to set itself in its own timeline. So if events were to attempt to destroy it from a temporal standpoint, it would bend causality to keep its own existence. And right now it's bending causality to keep the existence of the natural iron nickel core of this planet and the M-class acid environment above and the colonist.
That's the answer I'd been.
Okay, that.
I was being vague before, but trying to be mysterious.
Okay, so best case. So, pretty much we can just lead to our least mission and won't be affected by the temporal agents. What the temporal faction that you're fighting against?
And he's been very careful not to name the temporal faction.
Well, know what the ships look like.
You do know. The Scarlet its ship. I'm not sure what the best bet is. My best bet it would be to erase this colony and erase all traces of it. But that might not necessarily be your best bet.
But we take the colonists elsewhere, and that way you can erase what would be the colony here, but not.
That would be holding onto too many timelines, and that would create too much of a ripple that the Scarlets would find it.
I mean,
because I would be transporting in these 57 lives.
Their way to shield this
wouldn't
planet from the
wait.
timeline.
Wouldn't it be just wipe planet before colonies colonize the planet? That way they would never go here, but go.
Do you have another planet in mind?
No. Anyone else?
SETI Alpha 5.
Maldone could do a Reason Con difficulty 2 task.
right. Reason on 2 dice. I'm gonna buy a third with a momentum and call that even.
I will detect this.
I order you to give me a planet. Yes.
Here is my assist.
That is 3. Indeed, you could relocate them to another or planet. Probably not in this sector, but definitely in the next sector over, or you know that there's an uninhabited M-class planet. Or
Yeah, like,
actually, it is not uninhabited, but it is currently inhabited by 5,000 people. However, you could you could go back in time and direct the 2 ships together.
yeah, let's that and maybe with advantage it say with the whole back in time reset already done. Whole Green Planet Federation.
Dr. Bog brings up a good question. What are we going to tell the people?
Well, I mean, wouldn't us going back in?
I could do that. I could relocate the SS Pearson from 50 years ago and direct them to this new planet. Beta Joven. I don't know.
Like by doing this, that means they would no longer have I mean they wouldn't be forced just do a minor and weight change in time and to at least make this. I feel like going back in time to the ship to this plan, it might be more help.
There might be one other option. Rather than doing it in the past, still do it in this timeline.
I mean, I literally just spent. I told the guy that this planet is safe, so, and I feel like it would be a lot harder to tell them their home.
This would be the easier option, but is it the right option?
Do you want to hear another option?
What's your plan?
We can construct the colony on the holodeck, and if Mr. Agent here can construct the colony on the Beta Joven system, we can transport them, transport them into the holodeck, making them think that they're at their home, take them to the Joven system, and then they can just be transported down in the middle of the night.
I think we've done this before.
No, that's not gonna work.
Sure, they know the stars are different.
Yep.
Yeah, so and I feel we just have move it back in time to this and then let that happen. So that that way it still have a colony, and I imagine that it's like our first stop would be at this planet that they'd be to now, because that would change that planet close to.
That would be
Downtown Delta
incorrect.
Yeah, I feel
He does some calculations on a holographic, I think, sphere in front of him. That would also displace you from this system and should expunge you from the temporal events here.
I mean, but by doing this, will this also wipe our memory?
It could, or I could leave them intact for you. If they are left intact, should there be any retaliations from the Scarlet, you would be well aware and be able to defend yourselves.
Thought he wasn't going to tell us the faction name.
No, that's not their faction name.
It's a code faction name, just to make it
Yeah.
to make it easier to discuss.
Yeah, like the reason that they're saying scarlet is because the ship color, because the color of the ships are scarlet. If that helps Bog.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, he's just picking up the name for ease of description.
Okay. I mean, what about a way of guessing them until it's the right time to these memories to be on a lot of cases that happen. That the memories that have been backed up, a migraine.
The migraine, and I can't guarantee, but I could suppress the memories in you until triggered of such. This would prevent you from knowing about them, but as soon as you see evidence of them, you will be made aware. I will also be keeping a close eye on you, just in case.
Okay, so if we do get these memories back, might have this, I think.
I can and just say that your efforts here are very important to the galaxy as a whole. This is the first step to a greater frontier and many homeworlds.
Okay.
Including one of my great grandfathers.
Let's not hear any spoilers. So I think we already formulated the best plan.
Okay, so to explicate this, move the SS Pearson to I'm gonna reading essence of it.
I mean, I think Maldon can get it 88 kpm.
Maldon can get this thing up to 88 times the speed of light.
Yeah, well, I'm. Yeah, here's about the split going 88 miles per hour. When it can go 88 kmph per second.
Fly around the sun at warp speed.
Okay, so move the USS Pearson to land on the Beta Jovan system, and the Delta Leonis system will be uninhabited. And we are also suppressing your memories until such a time you see evidence of the Scarlets.
Oh yeah, also, can we... advantage check somehow say that we already did first waypoint of the silver code. Just times happens after.
Yep. So all the work you've made here, air will be done on that other planet. All the inroads as to talking to them.
Okay. That is.
I will say I can't guarantee a wonderful transference, but if this is what you'd like to do, say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
I agree with the captain.
I wasn't even going to try to make the decision.
I see you going with majority. It's fine.
Doctor?
You notice Bog is he's sort of fiddling with his phaser 1 on his belt.
Hey, Doc.
I don't know.
Want to talk it through?
Valvir, could you take me somewhere else instead?
Oh God.
Where to?
He names the colony where his wife and daughter were killed in a specific stardate.
Oh. We're pulling on this thread.
Bombshell.
He gives you a sympathetic look.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Bob.
I feel like Dr. Logic that event might time block.
I know where you're coming from, but the repercussions are greater than you think. You have lost so much, but it is through that loss that you are here, and it is here that we need you right now.
You see his eyes are welling up with tears, and his voice breaks. He says, "I had to ask." And he kind of keeps fiddling with the phaser, and then finally his hand relaxes, and he says, "I'm with the captain."
I'm sorry, Phineas. And with that, gray smoke fills the room, fills your vision. And everyone is back on the bridge. You are in orbit of the Beta Jovan in system, and you have been establishing contact with the local colony there. This is a colony of about 5,000 people this time. And originally they were hesitant to officially sign on as a Federation colony, as that kind of went against their original standing, their original reason for coming out here. But through grit, determination, careful talking, and a lot of planning, you have established it's the first colony world of the Silk Road.
Accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
But with the market done, let's begin our next stop. To be honest, I feel a little like just us warping without that end credit.
Yep. As you guys take off, unknowing what exactly has transpired, but feeling in the back of your head that you've made a good first step, but for some reason there's a hitch, as if you've misjudged the height of the step, and you've fallen in about a foot before you catch yourself. And with that, we'll end today's episode.
I feel bad for the chief security.